for between 7 and 9 years, but the payout is being reduced by 20%. Defence Minister Richard Marles telling Parliament the change will allow the military to retain experienced personnel.
Bolster our middle ranks, which is where we need people the most. We are improving retention, we are increasing recruitment, and we are now growing the Defence Force of the future.
And as the tributes continue for Quincy Jones, a floral wreath has been placed on his star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Now turning to 5AA sport, to our top story in Knight's Choice, a gelding from Queensland is now a Melbourne Cup winning horse. Trainer Sheila Laxon has told 10 it's a dream come true.
You know what's great? I love it being done for the Australians. You know, the Australians always done it. Robbie's Australian now as well, so I'm thrilled to win the Cup, and it's the People's Cup, and that's what it's all about.
Laxon also trained 2001 winner Ethereal. Well, preparations continue at Alberton as Port prepare for their first finals campaign. Ange Foley confident they can win against Richmond at home on Sunday afternoon.
We exist to win premierships, don't we? And, you know, we're not just making up numbers in this 8. We're absolutely going for the top prize. There's no point being in there if you're not. So, yeah, we'll take one game at a time. Absolutely very cliche, I know. But, yeah, once we beat Richmond, we'll see what's happening next week after that.
That's sport. Now checking 5AA traffic.
G'day there, accident breakdown free this afternoon, which is great. Should have an easy run wherever you're heading today, although really wet and slippery on the roads after those passing showers and storms. So take it easy and look out for works at McDonald Park, North-South Motorway near Curtis Road. Also Tea Tree Gully, North-East Road near Walters Street. And we're busy at the moment, Angle Park, South Road near Grand Junction Road. Camera 2, Toothy Street at Melbourne. Nobody beats Dan Murphy's this spring racing season. Lance on Black Label Champagne, NV France, $60 for My Dan's members, ends Wednesday. Choose to drink wise, T's and C's apply. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The 5AA forecast, a stormy shower or two this afternoon, partly cloudy tomorrow 25, Thursday a shower or two 22, Friday cloud clearing 22. Right now it's 23 degrees. Now let's check what's happening on 9 News tonight.
I'm Kate Collins. Tonight, Charles Croucher heads our team in the US for the presidential election. Tonight, the final moments before this historic vote. Nine's money editor Effie Zahos on how borrowers can take matters into their own hands after the RBA's decision on rates. And your exclusive coverage of the Melbourne Cup. 9 News, your news, nightly at 6 on 9 and 9 now.
When you buy FIVEAA Milk Company milk, you're pretty much buying direct from the farmer. We bottle it and send it straight to the supermarket. We deliver it ourselves too. It means we can give SA dairy farmers the best possible price per litre. So when you buy FIVEAA milk, you're supporting SA dairy farmers and their families. Plus, your money stays here in SA. And in these times, that's good for all of us. Look for the local in your supermarket. FIVEAA Milk Company. We're for SA dairy farmers.
The 5AA Sports Show. Stephen Rowe and Tim Jennifer.
Jamie Carr, the jockey, suspended for 10 meets for dangerous riding. That got me thinking. That penalty starts tomorrow night. She can play in the grand final, which is the Melbourne Cup.
It's amazing, isn't it? Happens a lot in racing.
Well, it would be like you getting rubbed out in the prelim, but you know what?
The 5AA Sports Show.
The penalty should be served in the home and away. I would love that.
Weekdays from 4 p.m. on 5AA. Always Adelaide. Streaming live via the 5AA Player app on DAB Digital Radio and on 1395 AM. This is 5AA. Always Adelaide.
Everyday items locked in at low prices for longer. There's more ways than ever to save at Foodland.
5AA Afternoons with Stacey Lee.
At 7 minutes past 3 here on 5AA. Good afternoon to you. It's Tuesday, the 5th of November. I'm Stacey Lee with you for afternoons for the next hour or so. Don't forget, it's a Tuesday. You know what that means. It's Turkey Tuesday. So get your nominations ready. After 3:30, I'll be taking your calls, 8223 0000. Who's your turkey of the week? Who's done something silly? Who deserves to be called out for it? I'm my own turkey of the week this week. I'll tell you why very soon. But get thinking, 8223 0000. I have a case of Turkey Flat Vineyards Rosé in a can to give away to the best caller this afternoon. But at 7 past 3, let's get arty.
5AA's State of the Arts.
And joining me in the studio today is Dane Lamb, the artistic director with the State Opera. Hi, Dane.
Hi, Stacey. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming in. I really appreciate it. So we are going to talk about Lucia di Lammermoor. Did I get that right?
Correct. That was perfect.
Perfect.
A plus.
Done. All right. Thanks for coming in. That's all we have time. No, I'm joking. I've been working up to that. That was a little bit stressful. Lucia di Lammermoor. It's the newest state opera performance. It starts this Friday night at 7:30 at Her Majesty's Theatre. Tell us about it. What's the storyline?
Lucia di Lammermoor is about a young woman called Lucia, or we can call her Lucy, and she's from the Ashton family. This is all in 18th century Scotland, so we can think big castles and windswept moors, whiskey and kilts, all this kind of stuff. There's basically a huge castle on stage down on Grote Street at Her Majesty's Theatre. Anyway, she's from the Ashtons, and of course she falls in love with Edgardo, who is from the Ravenswoods. Now, can you guess what's going to happen? These families hate each other.
It sounds Romeo and Juliet-esque.
Yeah, it's very Romeo and Juliet-esque. So, Lucia's family has run out of money, and they've arranged this marriage to Arturo, who she really doesn't love. She's having an affair with Edgardo, who her family doesn't approve of. And so it's this huge pressure cooker situation where this young woman is being pressured by so many different people in her life to marry somebody she doesn't love. And in the end, she loses her mind, and there's a famous mad scene in the opera that's been made famous by sopranos over the ages, including Australia's own Dame Joan Sutherland, probably our greatest opera singer ever.
Yes.
And it's this incredible duet between solo soprano and a solo flute. And it goes into the stratosphere, it whirls around, it goes up and down these vocal fireworks in this mad scene that sopranos over the centuries have inhabited. But in the end, it's a love story, and a thwarted love story, and a story about societal pressures that we all still feel today, accompanied by some amazing music and visionary staging.
And so it's all in Italian?
It is in Italian. It's a beautiful, beautiful Italian opera from the Bel Canto school, which is all about beautiful singing. And then alongside, either side of the stage, we have big screens in Her Majesty's Theatre with the English translation projected so people can follow along the entire story word for word.
Perfect. I'm definitely a subtitles girl. I have subtitles on my TV at all times, not just when I'm watching Italian opera.
I'm the same. I can't even watch Stranger Things without having some subtitles on.
Yes, I don't know why, but it's become a thing. I just have to have them on.
Exactly.
Especially now, because with all the different streaming services, you can get different shows and movies from all around the world, and sometimes the accents are really heavy, so I really like having the subtitles there. I imagine there's not just heavy accents if it's all in Italian.
No, it's all in Italian, and it's all sung, so you won't have any trouble hearing them at all. It's one of the reasons I love opera so much, Stacey, is that these singers are they're like the vocal athletes of the world. They're trained to be able to throw their voice without any microphones, without any amplification. They throw it over an 80-piece orchestra, in this case the Adelaide Symphony in the pit, and into 1,000, 2,000 seat house, and we can hear them as clear as day. I think that's just an amazing thing, because
it is.
Every human being has a voice, so we can all associate it with what it is to speak or to sing, but to imagine throwing that voice into a huge auditorium over an orchestra, it takes years of training and a technique that's really been honed and refined over centuries.
Absolutely. As you say, the athletes of the opera world, I imagine, would be a part of this. And being a state opera production, I assume we have a lot of locals involved as well.
We've got our wonderful state opera chorus who have just been singing with us, some of them for many, many decades. And these are all people who live locally. As I said, we've got the Adelaide Symphony in the pit. We've got some fantastic local soloists, including people like Pelham Andrews, who is, I would say, he's Raimondo. He's a meddlesome priest.
Oh.
Yes.
We love a meddlesome priest in a production.
Yeah, that's right. And we've got Samantha Rubenhold, another local person, and she's playing Elisa, who is Lucia's handmaid. We've got some great Australians who are kicking goals overseas. We've got Morgan Pearce, who's playing Lucia's meddlesome brother. He's sort of the villain of the story, I suppose. Morgan Pearce, he's kicking goals over in Europe. It's great to have an Aussie who's a high flyer coming back here.
Yeah.
Emma Pearson from New Zealand is singing the title role. And we've got, making his Australian debut, Alok Kumar, who's an American tenor, coming fresh from singing at New York's Metropolitan Opera. So on stage, you'll see the very best of South Australia and the very best of the world together. And I think that's what we're about as a company, uniting this hyper-locality as well as really being a company that we can hold up and be proud of in this state as being among one of the best.
Yeah, absolutely, for sure. Now, I know there's always something on the agenda with the State Opera, of course. Lucia de Lammermoor starting this Friday on for about a week until the 16th of November. And then what's next? What else is on the State Opera's agenda?
Yeah, well, Lucia is an epic production. It's everything you think of from, you know, if you love Game of Thrones, you really should come and see it, because we do have an actual castle on stage in Great Street. So we're going from this castle in 18th century Scotland to next May when we open an opera called Flight, which is set in an airport terminal. Any kind of airport, we all know what airport terminals are like. And if you've seen the Steven Spielberg, Tom Hanks movie, The Terminal, it's based on that same true story of this stateless refugee who gets stuck in the departures area of an airport. And along with him are stuck all these other passengers going about their normal lives, trying to go on holiday or go on business. They get stuck by a storm. So there's a middle-aged couple trying to rekindle their love life. There's an old woman who's lost everything. There is a diplomatic couple, and in fact, the diplomatic wife has a baby on stage in the opera. It's all in English. It's funny. It's sad. It's poignant. It really connects to the experiences that we all have had, because we've all been stuck in an airport at some point.
Yes. Oh, I like that. Oh, well, heaps of fun coming up for the State Opera.
Yeah.
That sounds like fun. Well, if you're interested, Lucia de Lammermoor, as I say, it starts this Friday at Her Majesty's Theatre. You can get tickets online now at the State Opera website. State Opera website?
That's
the
right,
best place
yes.
to get them? There you go. Dane Lamb, thank you so much for your time today.
Thanks so much, Stacey.
Appreciate it. It's Dane Lamb, Artistic Director with the State Opera. It is 3:15 here on 5AA, and up next we'll check in with Greg Ireland. He has just run the New York Marathon in honour of his daughter Chelsea, and I cannot wait to ask him how he's feeling. And he had a special little item of Chelsea's with him for the race. I'm very excited to hear about that.
It's all the little things that make a Murray Princess cruise unforgettable. It's watching the world go by. It's good old-fashioned hospitality. It's newfound friends. And it's dancing into the night. For a big adventure, full of the little things, book your 3, 4 or 7-night cruise on the majestic Murray Princess today at murrayprincess.com.au.
It's barbecue season, and the Gas Shop want you to have a safe summer. If you have a gas bottle, make sure it's not out of date. Check hoses and gas fittings for leaks. Keep a fire blanket or extinguisher handy, and never use water to put out a fat fire. Don't start summer with a bang. Visit the Gas Shop for outdoor kitchens, barbecues, parts, safety checks and advice. Heating, cooking, comfort. Turn on to the Gas Shop. 161 Unley Road, opposite Target.
If you need a window, and not just anything will do, just call Statesman Windows, factory direct to you.
Nobody beats Statesman Windows, not on quality and certainly not on service. Windows, sliding doors, bifolds and more, made right here in Adelaide, factory direct to you. For windows when and where you want them, call Statesman Windows, states.com.au.
Windows when and where you want them. Windows when and where you want them.
Yes, Uber Eats does deliver dragon fruit. No, Uber Eats does not deliver dragons, obviously.
Gonna need a lot of pet food now, I guess. Here, Draggy.
Uber Eats get almost anything.
Are you ready? Mawson Lakes Mazda's 2024 plate clearance sale is on now. Discover these drive-away deals across the entire range, including free 12 months rego, free stamp duty, as well as $500 off a range of accessory options. Hurry in to find your perfect model and colour. The sooner you get to the showroom, the better your chance of scoring your dream car. Mawson Lakes Mazda, just a short drive from the city. Salisbury Highway. T's and C's apply.
Hi, Daniel Talia here, General Manager of Home. That's HAUME. If you're thinking about selling your home and it's in our price range, we'll buy it. Forget spending thousands getting your home ready for sale. We'll offer you market value right now. And the settlement can be up to 12 months if you like, which gives you loads of flexibility. That's how easy it is. To get in touch with us today, visit home.com.au and remember HAUME.com.au. At Home, we buy homes.
The pieces just came together. From the enlistment form to the discharge papers signed after Gallipoli. He was my great Uncle Jack, and now his story is part of mine. There could be more to your story too. Piece it together with Ancestry.
Everyday items locked in at low prices for longer. There's more ways than ever to save at Foodland.
5AA Afternoons with Stacey Lee.
I don't know about you, but running a marathon has definitely never been on my list of things to do. So I am so in awe of two Adelaide parents who have completed the New York Marathon. They've done it in honour of their children, Chelsea and Wukash, and Greg Ireland and Magda Pearce are those very proud parents, and we are all very proud of them. Great South Australians. Greg joins you now. Hi, Greg.
How are you, Stacey Lee?
Yeah, good, thank you. How are you, more to the point? How are you feeling?
To be honest, I'm remarkably well. I thought I'd be in much worse state than I am, so I'm pretty happy with myself at the moment.
You should be. 42.2 kilometres. It's, like I said, it's not ever been something that I've put on my to-do list, and the whole reason you've been doing it is because it was on Chelsea's bucket list.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, it was never on my to-do list either, to be quite honest. But yeah, it was one of the things Chelsea had written as a bucket list item when she was in primary school. So the planets aligned with breakthrough mental health and going through analytics, venture time travel. The planets aligned, so I jumped at the opportunity. Yeah, and I can't say I've regretted it. It's been an amazing journey, and to actually finally have it done, and I just feel like there's been a burden released off my shoulders. So it's been good in that respect, that's for sure.
Yeah, oh, that's really good to hear. How are you feeling physically? Are you exhausted, or you sound like you're pretty upbeat?
Yeah, I think I knew I'd done the training, and my running coach, Damien at the Stuntline down at Port Adelaide, he's been monitoring me because I've had a few injuries along the way. So he's modified my training, got me up doing 30 plus Ks on a weekend, and I knew mentally and physically I was fine. I knew that finishing the marathon was not going to be an issue, other than injury or the emotional side of it getting to me. So everything went well. From my waist up is fine, but from my waist down, they're getting a cartel against me, I think, to finish me off. But a bit sore on the legs and knees and all the rest of it.
And yeah, you mentioned you weren't sure how you'd go emotionally during the race. How was that? Were there any moments where you thought about giving up?
Giving up? No, never. Not giving up. There were moments, to be quite honest, probably the couple of days leading into it were really emotional. Magda and I shared some time together, and we really sort of let our emotions out a bit, because it has been a long time coming. It's been sort of, everyone knows about it, and everyone's been so incredibly lovely towards us. But I think there's a lot of expectation as well for us to complete the marathon. So, there was a lot of emotion early and just prior to the race. Once you're in running with, 50,000 other people and the hundreds of thousands lining the route, they were absolutely amazing. It's like being at the football, the noise that they were creating. So you didn't really have much time to think about anything. It was just plodding along, and putting our training into executing it, I suppose.
And you had a Team Chelsea cap on with you for the run?
Oh, I did. Yes, had the Team Chelsea cap on, and we had breakthrough shirts on with their names on the front. Warning to anyone thinking of doing it, put someone else's name on there because people keep yelling out your name and encouraging you. And by about halfway through, I was sick of hearing my name being called out, but it was such a lovely thing. The crowd is so incredibly supportive. They're absolutely amazing. So, but also, which I haven't sort of told anyone else, Stacey Lee, but I also had a necklace of Chelsea's that I took with me on the journey. So that was something a bit special for me as well to finish off with that. So Chelsea was with me in many ways during the run.
Oh, that's beautiful, Greg. I imagine that was extra special for you to have her so close to your heart.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. Yeah, it was.
And so you mentioned you were wearing the breakthrough shirt with your name on it. This was, of course, because you did this because it was on Chelsea's bucket list of things to do, and you were raising money for the Breakthrough Mental Health Research Foundation. And the amount of money that you and Magda have helped to raise is just outstanding. What are you up to now?
Last look, it was I think we'd raised just over 25,000 between Magda and myself. Breakthrough had raised over 106,000, so that was amazing. But we were at a function last night for the runners and supporters and that, and they were very, very considerate and asked me, "Are you happy to speak?" And I said, "No." I felt like I said, the burden had been lifted, so I said, "Yep, no worries, I can have a chat." So I got up and had a chat, and that's probably not a good idea because some of the supporters knew my story. Others may have known the story but didn't know it was me. So I got up and spoke. And after that, I went and sat down, and within a few minutes, my phone went off. One of the guys in our team had donated $1,000 to me personally. Oh, sorry, through Breakthrough, my Breakthrough thing.
Fundraising link, yeah.
Yeah,
yep.
Yeah, and I caught up with him later in the night. He come and introduced himself, and when he did it, he turned out to be $1,000 US. So he probably wasn't overly keen on that.
Oh, I'm sure it didn't matter at all to him. Clearly he wanted to donate to the cause.
He did, yeah, and he's an absolutely lovely bloke, so yeah, that was wonderful.
Oh, that's so good to hear. So, Greg, would you do it again?
Yes. Not today. I've actually really enjoyed running. Probably since the middle of August, I've run a minimum of a half marathon every weekend, and just it pretty much stuffs up my Sundays. But I've really enjoyed it, and I think I'll go back and do halves. A full marathon, I'd never say never. But it'll be a while down the track. I see Sydney's now becoming one of the big group of international marathons. So hopefully people get out and support that next year.
Oh, absolutely. Well, there's so many of us here back home that have been cheering you and Magda on and watching along and hoping for the best. So we're glad and very proud that you got through it in the way you did. And we did intend on chatting to Magda as well. But while you're in New York, make hay. She's off to the theatre. She's gone to see Wicked.
Yes.
Good on her.
We got back, we sort of caught up today, and she said, "Oh look, no, Ricky and I are off to Wicked," so off they jump and they've gone down to that. So they're enjoying it. So it's an amazing town and plenty to do, and loving it here.
Yeah, oh good. Well, you get out and enjoy it as well. Thank you for taking the time to chat to us and update us. And as I say, lots of us watching on and extremely proud of the work you and Magda have put in. And yeah, you've done us proud. Oh,
thank you very much. I'd just like to thank, because walking out I didn't even get to pick up my medal, and one of my workmates had messaged me, so, well done, Greg, and I've had so many well wishes and congratulations from not just people I know, but all people I've never met before, and it's just been overwhelming and absolutely beautiful. So thank you to everybody who has reached out to me and Magda, and it's been amazing. Very humbling experience indeed. So very lovely.
No, absolutely. Well, as I say, we're very proud. 2 great South Aussies representing us on the world stage there, and for a very special reason as well. So well done again. And I hope you can enjoy a well-earned meal, maybe a beer, something to go with it, and enjoy the rest of your time in New York.
Oh, thank you very much. We did find a nice little Irish bar just 20 metres away. So, a couple of Guinnesses has been helped to refuel, that's for sure.
Perfect. What's better? What's more New York than an Irish bar?
There's just got one on every corner. So that's wonderful. Exactly. Right next to the hot dog stall.
Perfect. You couldn't have asked for a better celebration afterwards, Greg.
Absolutely. Thanks very much, Stacey Lee.
Thank you. That's Greg Ireland there. And it is 28 minutes past 3 here on 5AA. That means it's almost Turkey Tuesday time. Get on the phone now, 8223 0000. Who are you nominating for Turkey of the Week? I have a case of Turkey Flat Vineyards Rosé in a can to give away to the best caller this afternoon.
This November, save up to 30% with Insight Vacations and Phil Hoffman Travel. Discover daily travel deals on tours to Switzerland, Greece, Britain, Egypt, Spain and Portugal and more. Enjoy business class tours with premium experiences with unique and insider access, premium dining, business class coaches and stays in 4- and 5-star hotels. Don't miss out. Visit pht.com.au for a sneak peek at each daily deal.
Nothing beats driving away in your brand new Mitsubishi, but choosing your brand new Mitsubishi comes pretty close thanks to the team at Agostino Mitsubishi. They've provided excellent service for over 35 years, so you know you're in good hands. Plus, with a 10-year warranty and 10-year cap price servicing on the entire Mitsi range, you know you're getting the best deal. Hurry into Agostino Mitsubishi Nailsworth or the new state-of-the-art Agostino Mitsubishi Mawson Lakes. Exclusions and conditions including Mitsubishi servicing apply.
Make it a double date for dinner with a Subway double deal. Not 1, but 2 deliciously fresh foot-long subs, 2 ice-cold 600ml drinks and 2 gooey cookies. Order now at Subway. T's and C's apply.
This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
Good afternoon, Mel Usher with the latest news headlines. Knight's Choice has won the 2024 Melbourne Cup. As expected, the RBA has kept the cash rate on hold today at 4.35%. Kamala Harris has given her final address in Pennsylvania after 107 days on the election campaign trail. And in sport, Port has trained today ahead of this weekend's elimination final in the AFLW against Richmond. The 5AA forecast, a stormy shower or two this afternoon, partly cloudy tomorrow, 25. Right now it's 23. We'll have more news at 4 and as it happens on 5AA.
If you live in the western suburbs, here's some big news. Mannix have opened 2 new showroom and warehouse sales outlets at Marion Road, Plympton and Findon Road, Woodville, to go along with our locations at Salisbury and Holden Hill. So now you can get your air conditioning or solar system supplied and installed, or choose from Adelaide's biggest range of cash and carry splits, spare parts and accessories from 4 locations at Adelaide's best prices. You could save hundreds. Public and trade are welcome.
Hi, Bronte Manuel from Toop and Toop. There's a lot of talk about changes to negative gearing and capital gains tax. And if you've got an investment property, it's important to know how these might affect you. At Toop and Toop, we're across all the latest updates and ready to help you make sense of it all. Whether you're investing, selling or just curious, now's the time to get the right advice. To talk about these changes and what they could mean for you, call the Toop and Toop team on 8362 8888. That's 8362 8888.
Hi, I'm Tim Angove from Supercraft Bedding. We're a small batch manufacturer of high quality mattresses.
we decided to advertise on 5AA. Whilst discovering and chatting about our journey and our history, it was mentioned to us how cool it was that we'd made a mattress for the Queen. We never thought of exploiting it, but Creative really wanted to bring that to front of mind. It certainly brought us a lot of sales, but also a few giggles along the way. When people were commenting and quoting our ads, we knew that it was 5AA that were really assisting our sales. I highly recommend small businesses, especially, to get in with 5AA. They're very much South Australian, just like us.
To get your message out there and grow your business, visit 5AA.com.au and hit the Advertise With Us link for more information.
Always local. 5AA. Always Adelaide.
Everyday items locked in at low prices for longer. There's more ways than ever to save at Foodland.
5AA Afternoons with Stacey Lee.
Good afternoon to you and happy Tuesday. We are live on the Foodland Supermarkets Facebook and YouTube live stream, so jump on and say hi. And believe it or not, some of the first ballots have now been cast in the US election. We're about 24 hours away from maybe getting a result and polls closing in some cities. But right now, in Dixville Notch in New Hampshire, the ballots have opened. It's just gone midnight and some votes have been cast already. There's only a few cities or towns in America, 3 tiny towns in New Hampshire, where you can cast your vote just after midnight. So the clock has now ticked over, and in a few minutes' time, you'll hear from David Smith, who's from the United States Studies Centre. We'll get an early look at what tomorrow might look like in terms of the voting. But now, you know what day it is.
Time to call in and nominate your Turkey of the Week for Stacey Lee's Turkey Tuesday.
There's a case of Turkey Flat Vineyards Rosé in a can on offer today for the best caller. Who is your Turkey of the Week? 8223 0000 is the number to call. Andrea has sent me a text, 0448081395. Andrea, this is a great question. She says, in your opinion, do the Turkey Flat Rosé cans taste the same as in a glass bottle? And Andrea, I had the same exact thought because it's my favourite rosé, the Turkey Flat Vineyards, and when I saw it in a can, I just thought, nah. It's not going to taste the same. It'll be different. The can might make it taste metallic-y. I don't know. I just associate drinking something out of a can with bubbles. It must just be the soft drink element to it. And I did not think it was going to be any good. I tasted it. Exactly the same. There's no difference. It's bizarre. I don't know how they do it. It must be in the technology, the stuff that they make the can out of, but it tastes exactly the same as the rosé in a glass bottle. So if you're looking for a more eco-friendly option, or maybe you don't like opening a whole bottle during the week and you just want a little glass, the cans are the way to go. And you can get a case right here. So get on the phone now if you'd like a case of Turkey Flat Vineyards rosé in a can, and tell me who your Turkey of the Week is. This week I'm nominating myself, because on the weekend, I had a big Saturday. I was lucky enough to be emceeing the Real Estate Institute's awards night with Tom Wren at Adelaide Oval. It was a great night, about 650 people there. We were celebrating the best of the best in the real estate industry. Bronte Manuel from Toop and Toop, he won Auctioneer, Best Auctioneer in South Australia, so congratulations to him. We'll have him on later in the week. And it was a great night, but it was a late night. And on Sunday, I was feeling a bit dusty. My husband was also out at a 40th, so we both had big Saturdays. We had grand plans on Sunday, you know, to do the Sunday chores stuff, grocery shopping, meal prep, planning, all that stuff. And we just both looked at each other and went, can't be bothered. Let's just stay home and watch movies. So we watched movies all day Sunday and did not do our grocery shopping. And now we have no groceries. I think I used the last of the yogurt this morning in my breakfast, so Ben's not going to be too happy about that. And there's no milk. We don't have any milk. We now don't have any yogurt. We don't have any eggs. I don't have Murray's food. If you know me, if you're a regular listener, you'll know I make Murray's food every week. He gets chicken and vegetables along with his doggy biscuits. So he doesn't have any food. Thank goodness for my mum. She's stepped in. She's feeding Murray tonight. I think she's making him some eggs, but at least he'll be fed. And she's feeding us tonight as well until we can go to the grocery store later on tonight or tomorrow. See if I can put it off for another day. So anyway, I'm my own turkey of the week. 8223 0000 is the number to call to nominate your turkey of the week. Case of Turkey Flat Vineyards Rosé in a can to give away this afternoon. We'll take a quick break, then we'll talk about the US election, but keep your turkey nominations coming. 8223 0000. I do have one more this week. I'm also nominating Sally, or is it Susie? I don't know. Sent a text message to me, 0448 08 1395. You use both names on the text line, so I'm not sure which one it is, Sally or Susie. But you have sent me a very long text. I can't read the whole thing out, but clearly a Donald Trump supporter, and you took great issue with Michael Ruggiero earlier, an accountant, chairman of Partners with Bentley South Australia. We were analysing the RBA's decision to keep interest rates on hold. And you nominated him because you think he has no idea what's happening. You think that there'll be a rate cut as soon as Anthony Albanese announces the election date. Okay. But the reason I'm nominating you is because you've called me Samantha in the text message. So there you go. Sally/Susie, you're also a turkey of the week to me. 8223 0000 is the number to call to nominate your own.
See movies how they should be seen. Hear movies how they should be heard. All on the big screen with Quake Sound at Wallace. And now you can see them for less and enjoy candy bar discounts and other special member offers and freebies. Simply become a My Wallace member today. It's free, it's easy, and it's full of benefits. Go to wallace.com.au and click on Join My Wallace today. Wallace Mitcham, Mount Barker, Noarlunga and the Piccadilly. South Australia's home of big screen magic and entertainment.
Chemotherapy, radiotherapy, immunotherapy. Cancer treatment looks different for everyone. At Lift Cancer Care, our team of dietitians, physios, psychologists and exercise physiologists collaborate closely with your medical team to help you navigate your diagnosis. And we're dedicated to building your physical and mental strength to give you the best possible outcomes. So if you or a loved one are ever struck with the C word, think of the L word first. liftcancercare.com.au.
Ray White, big name in real estate, but also the biggest name in business broking. What makes us big? Our people, like Brett Buckley and his team. MBA, lecturer, and multi-time SA Business Broker of the Year. Brett doesn't just read a P&L, he feels it. If you're selling or expanding your business, Brett can take your business apart and find you more money. And we're not talking small change. Go on, touch base with Brett. Search Ray White Business Sales SA.
The pieces just came together. An enlistment form, a letter from the front, a casualty report about a bullet wound to his leg, and then discharge papers signed after Gallipoli. He was my great-uncle Jack, and now his story of courage and resilience is part of mine. There could be more to your story too. Piece it together with Ancestry.com.au.
Right now, there's never been a better time to buy a new forklift from Toyota Material Handling. Choose from Toyota's massive range, famous for legendary reliability and safety. Plus, enjoy a low finance rate from just 2.9% on Toyota's 8 FBRE Reach forklifts and SWE 120S walkie stackers currently in stock. Hurry, limited time only. See the Toyota forklifts range at toyotamaterialhandling.com.au.
Get a Toyota forklift.
Approved business applicants only. Terms, conditions, fees and charges apply. Maximum term is 48 months. Offer ends 28 Feb 2025.
Are you doing enough to grow your wealth? Are your superannuation and investments working as well as they should? Jackie from Guardian Wealth Solutions will work closely with you to help make sense of your super and create a roadmap for your financial future. She'll look at everything from your contributions and investment choices to strategies to minimising tax and fees. Instead of hoping for the best, you'll know you're on track to achieve the retirement lifestyle you want. GuardianWealthSolutions.com.au.
G'day, Alan Gray here. Talking mechanic to mechanic, one of the toughest parts of our job would have to be tracking down the most reliable four-wheel drive parts. At Terrain Tamer, we have Australia's largest range of four-wheel drive parts, all designed, engineered and tested to outperform the original. Hey, righto guys. Talk to one of Terrain Tamer's army of trained parts interpreters who all speak fluent four-wheel drive, or jump online and have over 60,000 parts at your fingertips, delivered anywhere in Australia. Go to terraintamer.com.
everyday items locked in at low prices for longer. There's more ways than ever to save at Foodland.
5AA Afternoons with Stacey Lee.
At 18 minutes to 4 here on 5AA, don't forget your turkey nominations. 8223 0000. Who is your turkey of the week? Who deserves to be called out for doing something silly? Maybe someone forgot to take the bins out. Maybe someone's done something at home. Maybe you witnessed something on the roads. Let me know. 8223 0000 is the number to call. You could win a case of Turkey Flat Vineyards Rosé in eco-friendly cans. So get on the phone now. But now we're going to talk about the US election. This time tomorrow, we may, in big quotation marks, have a result. We may know who the next president of the United States will be. Polls have opened in some states. I just saw some vision on Sky News of the first votes being cast in Dixville Notch, New Hampshire. They opened just after midnight as it ticked over about 13 minutes ago. So the votes will start to come in now over the next 24 hours. Let's talk about it with Associate Professor David Smith from the United States Study Centre at the University of Sydney. Hello, Associate Professor. Thanks for your time.
Good afternoon. Thanks for having me.
Oh my goodness, it feels like this has been one of the longest campaigns ever. I was just thinking back to when it was Joe Biden and not Kamala Harris, and then since then so much has happened. It's been going forever.
Yeah, it's certainly been one of the most extraordinary election campaigns ever. We've never had a sitting president in the modern age bow out of the race this late, being replaced with only 100 days to go. Not since the 1890s has a president lost an election and then come back to win one 4 years later, which is what Trump is trying to do now. If Harris wins, she would be the first woman to be president of the United States. Trump has had 2 assassination attempts in the course of this campaign. He's had criminal convictions. It's just been a really remarkable campaign. And then at the end of it, this is the closest that the polls have been in the history of modern polling. It's basically a dead heat, not just at the national level, but in most of the swing states as well. So it has just been an absolutely extraordinary campaign.
It has, absolutely. Yeah, I forgot about the second assassination attempt as well. I forgot there were 2 of them. My goodness. And so it really does seem like it'll go right down to the wire. Every single poll is predicting it'll be super close. It all seems to be within the margin of error as well. I think the last election, it took a few days for us to know the results. So are we looking at that again, David?
That is a possibility, especially if it comes down to Wisconsin and Pennsylvania, which look like they're going to be 2 of the key states. Both of these states have rules around counting the early votes and mail votes that mean that they have to be counted afterwards, which slows down the process quite a bit. Last time, it took so long to get the results because so many Democrats had been voting early and by mail, whereas most Republicans were voting on the day. Now, that could be different this time around. There seems to be indications that a lot more Republicans are actually voting early this time, which means maybe there won't be such a difference between those early votes and those late votes, which means we might have a clearer idea. But if the polls are as close as, if the results are as close as the polls are suggesting, then the count could take a very long time because in many states, if it's within 1% or 0.5%, there's an automatic recount. We might remember that the longest that a single state count has dragged out was Florida in 2000, when it came down to less than 1,000 votes. When it's less than 1,000 votes, legal challenges to votes can really matter because there are always some kind of problems with ballots that have been spoiled or signatures that don't look right or things that arrive late. So if it is really, really close, as the polls are suggesting, then it could be quite a while before we know the results. But then again, there can be close elections where we know the results pretty soon.
So given that large number of early votes this time round, and you mentioned that last time around a lot of those early votes were from the Democrats and this time round not so, that means we can't really look into what the result of those early votes might be as much as maybe we have in the past?
Yeah, no, I mean, even looking at it in the past wasn't really reliable, and this time it really would be like trying to read a chicken's entrails. Because the reality is that Republicans have been encouraging other Republicans to vote early this time around, and it's a pretty sensible strategy because the election happens at the onset of winter in the United States, and you never know what the weather is going to do on election day, so they like to have those votes banked early. So what that means is just that Republicans are changing their tactics. It probably doesn't tell us anything about overall turnout itself. What both sides are going to be wondering about on the eve of the election is, are the polls actually correct? Because there's a long history of polls getting it wrong. Of course, in the last two elections, polls significantly underestimated Donald Trump's support. One of the reasons for that is that Trump has a lot of supporters who are not usually very engaged with politics, and these are the kinds of people who just don't answer polls. And it's very hard to correct for that bias in polls. So the same thing could happen this time around. Then again, the polls seem to have been showing much more realistic numbers for Donald Trump this time. Last couple of times, polls were showing him in the low 40s or the mid-40s in swing states. Then he ended up polling in the high 40s. This time around, he's been in the high 40s consistently, so they might have corrected for that problem. It's even possible that they've overcorrected and that the polls could underestimate Kamala Harris's support. We're not going to know until tomorrow, but I think the election is going to be decided by last-minute decisions. Voters really, who haven't, probably at this point, haven't even made up their mind between Harris and Trump, or haven't made up their minds about whether they will vote at all. It'll be those voters who are absolutely keen on election day.
And that's the thing about American politics. It's so different to our elections where, you do have those few voters who don't know how they're going to vote and they'll decide when they get there. But in America, without mandatory voting, if you don't know how you're going to vote and you're not particularly passionate, you've got the option of just not voting at all, which throws out the polls, I guess.
That's right. It's what makes American polls so difficult. Australian polls are usually fairly reliable in getting the result because they don't have to estimate who's going to vote. Estimating who's actually going to vote is a very difficult job. I don't envy any pollster that task, and it's why the polls are so often wrong. Also, the campaigns themselves can make quite a big difference. Both parties have these big turn-out-the-vote operations. On election day, people will be getting deluged by phone calls from the parties saying, have you voted yet? Can we give you a lift to the polls? Do you know anyone who hasn't voted yet? That turnout operation can be really important in a close election. So no matter what the polls say, really, it probably just hasn't been decided yet.
Yeah, well, and you say, those final days of campaigning can make a difference. Both of them were out today. Donald Trump held a rally in Michigan, I think it was, where he made, another bold a policy announcement, if you will call it that.
To target and dismantle every migrant criminal network operating on American soil. And if they come back into our country, it's an automatic 10 years in jail with no possibility of parole. And I am hereby calling for the death penalty for any migrant that kills an American citizen or a law enforcement officer.
So that's Donald Trump calling for the death penalty on any migrant who kills an American citizen. And it feels like that's been a lot of the campaign for Donald Trump, an anti-immigration sort of standing and an us and them mentality, not just with immigration, but tariffs on China and any other countries, which could affect Australia as well, but very much this MAGA, Make America Great Again, and us and them. It's us over them, and we don't want to help anyone else out over ourselves. And that seems to be seriously contrasted with the Democrats' campaign up until now. Kamala Harris really trying to push that unity and a movement against divisive politics. Here she was today at a rally.
Because when you know what you stand for, you know what to fight for. And we have an opportunity in this election to finally turn the page on a decade of politics driven by fear and division. We are done with that. We're done.
I don't know. What do you think, David? Is Is one of them more likely to win over Americans?
Oh, look, one of them will win, but I think it's just impossible to tell at this point who it's going to be. One of the interesting things about this campaign is that given how much people have suffered with price increases over the last 4 years, normally you would you would expect the incumbent to lose, who is effectively Kamala Harris, given especially how low Joe Biden's approval ratings are, just how bad people's experiences of the economy have been. You would expect the incumbent to lose easily, but instead it's very close. And Trump probably hasn't talked about the economy as much as his advisors would have liked him to talk about. He believes immigration is the issue that is going to decide everything. In his words, immigration trumps the economy. I think it's an interesting choice of words. And even when he's talking about the problems with the economy, problems with inflation, he's blaming it all on immigration. Now, his base absolutely loves that. That's what they want to hear. But when looking at why the election is so close, when Trump should be running away with it, given how upset people are with the economy, and only 28% of the country says that it's on the right track, there could be signs that this obsessive focus on immigration is just not appealing to enough people. But we will see tomorrow.
We will see. Are you brave enough to make a tip?
No, I'm not.
Fair enough. I think it's a fool's game, tipping it anyway. Oh, well, David, really appreciate your insights this afternoon. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
That's Associate Professor David Smith from the US Studies Centre at the University of Sydney. And another little tidbit I learnt today about the US election, because I was thinking, why is it held on a Tuesday? It'll be Tuesday in America, when it's tomorrow here, once most of the polls are open, once most of the ballots have been cast. It's because, historically, since the 1800s, Tuesday was the least disruptive day for farming communities. So they thought, well, we need to get our farming communities out. They need to have their say as well. So they've put it on a Tuesday. So there you go. That's as opposed to here in Australia where it's always held on a Saturday. Interesting stuff. 6 minutes to 4 here on 5AA. Up next, you'll hear from Rowie or Timmy about what's coming up on the sports show. And I'm still waiting for your calls, 8223 0000. Who's your turkey of the week? I've got a case of Turkey Flat Vineyards Rosé sitting here to give away. Come on, get on the phone. Who's your turkey? 8223 0000.
5AA News has always been Adelaide's most trusted source of news and information for the people of South Australia. And in 2024, we're taking news to the next level. Joining the Adelaide newsroom are two of the most respected and credentialed news people in South Australia, Graham Goodings and Jess Adamson. Get the absolute latest on what's happening in your city every morning with the names you can trust. Graham Goodings and Jess Adamson, part of 5AA's award-winning news team in 2024.
Well, there aren't many firsts these days, but here's one. The first kitchen warehouse store in South Australia has opened. And if you're into cooking, you're going to want to make it the first place you visit. Check out the latest from brands like Le Creuset, KitchenAid, Magimix, ScanPan and more at unbeatable prices. And if you're not sure what you need, just chat to the friendly team and they'll be happy to help. Kitchen Warehouse, now open at Jeps Cross Home HQ. Check out what they've got at kitchenwarehouse.com.au.
See you again tomorrow, Betty. One of the most important things you can do as you get older is stay active. The Physio Co is a mobile physiotherapy company dedicated to keeping people active throughout retirement and beyond. Their caring, qualified physios will help get your elderly mum or dad moving with confidence by tailoring treatment and exercise plans in the comfort of their own home. Stay active, safe and happy and book the Physio Co today. Just head to thephysioco.com.au.
Save up to 30% this November with Trafalgar and Phil Hoffman Travel. Discover daily travel deals on tours to Italy, Morocco, Switzerland, Spain, Japan and more. Immerse yourself in iconic must-see sites and hidden local secrets. Indulge in the renowned Be My Guest dining experience and stay in one-of-a-kind accommodations with every detail taken care of. Don't miss out. Visit pht.com.au for an exclusive look at each daily deal.
When deciding on a gas fireplace for your home heating,
You may think they all look the same. Well, at the gas shop, we're more than happy to
turn the lights down low. So you can see how different each one is. That's a beautiful thing. Heating, cooking, comfort, turn on to the gas shop. 161 Unley Road, opposite Target.
This is RB Dave for Supercraft Bedding with Tales from the Bedroom. Audrey has great taste, and when it comes to choosing the bed frame or bed head, like a lot of women, she makes the final choice. So can you. Our hardwood and upholstered king and queen size bed frames are totally customisable. Choose the fabric, the stain and the style. And they're not shipped in. They're made here, so you can start enjoying it sooner. Supercraft Bedding, building better beds. 42 Richmond Road, Keswick.
I'm a man on the scene.
Kia's most awarded SUV just got better with the refined 7-seat Kia Sorento. Now with a dual 12.3-inch panoramic display and Kia Connect technology. The Kia Sorento. Visit kia.com.au to find out more.
Kia. Movement that inspires.
Everyday items locked in at low prices for longer. There's more ways than ever to save at Foodland.
5AA Afternoons with Stacey Lee.
Almost time for the 4 o'clock news and then the sports show with Rowie and Timmy G. But first, Lauren in Morford Vale's given us a call. Hi, Lauren.
One of the things that really infuriated me the other day was listening to a judge that was going to let someone out after they had an attack with a machete. To me, that is the most cowardly act of anything, and I think judges need to take responsibility for the terror and the pain and the suffering of people with the machete attack. Imagine living with that for the rest of your life.
Oh, horrible, horrible.
So I would call that being an absolute turkey for not bringing justice to play in what should be an unconscionable act.
Hear, hear, Lauren. I think there's a lot of people who'd agree with you. I'm giving you the turkey flat case of rosé in eco-friendly cans, so I hope you enjoy.
Oh, thank you so much, Stacey. I really appreciate that.
Thank you. And drink responsibly, of course.
Oh, of course.
Of course. Thank you for the call.
Thank you.
Congrats.
Okay,
bye.
Bye.
That's Lauren in Morford Vale. Rowie and Timmy G are on after 4, and Stephen Rowe joins me in the studio.
Yeah.
Hello.
I think anyone who bets on the Melbourne Cup who isn't an owner or a trainer is a turkey.
I agree.
100-1 outsider, yeah. Knight's Choice won the Melbourne Cup. An absolute rank outsider, no chance long shot. The jockey sung on The Voice.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, multi-skilled.
Oh, God, he
There
rode
you
a good ride. He gets $220,000. The winner gets $4.4 million. Well done. So we'll talk about all of that. The tipsters, bookies and experts aren't always right. See you after 4.
See you after 4. That's with Rowie and Timmy G. Thanks for your calls and texts today. I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Local news and information first. This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
A storm